Yes.
Good morning, everybody. Jim, do you prefer?
Yep. Mighty Lord, you give us courage. You are my rock. I will put my confidence in you. I come to you today positioning myself to hear you and obey you. Thank you, Lord, for bringing me new boldness and courage. You have provided miraculous steps for me this day. I will take one remarkable step of faith after another. Worry and fear will flee from me. Thank you that you are giving us great power to do great things this day. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Jim. Okay, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute the minutes for the meeting of June 30th, 2020.
Make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier? Commissioner Lennon?
Yes. And then, also the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute the minutes for the meeting of July 7th, 2020.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner
Aye.
Spillier? Commissioner Lennon?
Yes. Great.
Okay, on July 29th for financials, I approved a JFS transfer, cash transfer from the Child Welfare and Children's Services Funds to the Public Assistance Funds for shared expenses from April through June in order to provide cash to cover payroll and benefits.
Okay, great, thank you.
And then yesterday, Department on Aging, I approved and executed the agreements for the 2020 Senior Fair Market for Geauga seniors age 60 and over that qualify for the voucher program for the period June 1st, 2020 through October 31st, 2020 for the following farms: Crit Family Farm, Cernus Farm and Market, Jacob J. Kaufman River Valley Produce, Raymond Byler D&S Produce, Patterson's Farms Incorporated, doing business as Patterson Fruit Farm, Sage's Apples, Hirschberger Produce, Marvin A. Hirschberger, and Burton Floral. And for maintenance, approved and executed service contract agreement with Five Star Fire Protection Services Incorporated to perform fire extinguisher maintenance and inspection in Geauga County offices and safety center for a 4-year period in an amount not to exceed $27,000, $20,000 for the county buildings and $7,000 for safety center.
Great, okay. And then, following up with last week, Commissioner's Office requesting, oh no, I'm sorry, Adrian, get the financials first.
Yes. Good morning. So today's financials include an appropriations transfer to the Sheriff's Office for miscellaneous reimbursement checks that were deposited into the general fund. Among the encumbrances are a travel request from Transit to attend a Drive software Train the Trainer event. And among the vouchers are $33,987 from the Commissioner's Office to NOACA for yearly dues payments for the Commissioners and the Engineer's Office, and $43,884.51 from JFS to the Treasurer, State of Ohio, for the return of unused Winter Crisis Programs money from the 2019-2020 season.
Okay, great. Any questions or comments?
Make that motion.
Okay,
Second.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
yes.
And the next item too on the agenda is, this is for the Geauga Recovery Centers to fund an assistant to the jail treatment program at the Geauga County Safety Center for the year 2020, an amount not to exceed $39,480. It's a couple thousand less than normal because they had some cost savings due to shutting down the program for a little while due to COVID-19.
Right, and I think they requested the next go around that it go back to what
The
it
normal
previously
amount.
was. Correct.
It's normally $44,150.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, motion please.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner
Aye.
Spillier? Commissioner Lennon?
Yes,
Thank you very much.
great, thank you.
Thanks.
The next one's the Board of Developmental Disabilities.
I don't think David's here.
That's okay, this is the bond. Is requesting
Correct.
Board accept the performance bond for West Roofing Incorporated for the roof repair and replacement project.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner
Aye.
Spillier? Commissioner Lennon?
Yes. Is that the same company that did the safety center? Or no?
No.
No.
That was
different.
Garland DD.
Okay. All right, engineer's office.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
How are ya?
Good. Item 8 on the agenda is requesting the board approve the use of municipal road funds for the Tar Creek Parkway resurfacing project. It's actually a project they're planning to do. It's in the development phases, but they requested in an amount not to exceed $180,000 is what we have available for them. And that is intended to be the eastern section of that parkway. So,
Oh, I see, okay. Very good. Any question?
What do you mean eastern part?
the eastern, so if it starts at 87 and goes over to 608,
Yeah.
so basically, maybe from the apartments, they're gonna do a portion of it. They're not gonna be able to do the entire run of it with the monies that they have available, so about half of it.
So, just resurfacing.
Yeah, they're gonna do some repairs and then a mill and fill.
Okay.
So,
Great.
I make the motion.
Second.
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Item 9 on the agenda is requesting the board approve and execute the unit price contract with Davis Diggers and Menor for the Bell Street drainage improvements in Newberry Township in the amount of $128,414.50. Commissioners have already awarded the project. This is just signing the contract.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one. Okay, Jessica, how are ya?
Morning.
Hi, Jessica.
So Jerry reported the farm market contract that the Department on Aging does with our local levy funds. What we do is an expansion of the federal program because they do not issue us very many vouchers for the lower income individuals of the county. So in addition to what he already approved, we do have the federal contract. So Western Reserve Area Agency on Aging will be issuing us an additional 144 coupon sets. They are valued at $7,200, and what we will be doing is simply distributing them to individuals that qualify. So we will be planning to send out letters to those that will qualify in our system, and then start the process of disbursement.
I see. Okay. Any questions?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Jessica. Aye.
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier? Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
All right, have a great one.
Yeah.
Very good.
Morning.
Hey.
Hi, Dave.
Everybody well?
Yep.
Yes.
How are you?
Good thing, yep.
Good, good.
So this is good news here. These are 3 mortgages that were granted to an individual on Aquinas Drive about 2007. And these mortgages were recently paid off to the tune of about $5,000 for all 3 of them. So I'm here today to request that the board approve the satisfaction of these 3 mortgages.
Very good. What type of business was this?
No, it's a homeowner. This was a, these loans were mortgage assistance, down payment assistance and rehabilitation. So 1 for down payment assistance, 2 for rehab assistance.
And
Way
the-
back,
And these programs we don't do anymore.
that's correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was a new, like, old chip program.
Yeah.
But it's good news because it was all paid off.
And
Yes, they did.
And how, do you know roughly how many more, or is this it? Is there any more of these hanging out there, or?
I haven't, no, I think I have 1.
Okay,
Maybe 2.
okay,
Yeah.
excellent, okay. If we could read that, then.
You wanna do 11, 12, and 13
Sure,
together?
yep.
The Department of Development is requesting the board approves and execute a satisfaction release of mortgage for Andrew L. Mahali. The second is the mortgage filed June 22nd, 2007 under grant BC 050262 for down payment assistance. The amount of $10,000 has been satisfied. The Department of Development is requesting the board approve and execute a satisfaction release of mortgage for Andrew L. Mahali. The second is the mortgage filed July 7th, 2007 under grant BC 050262 for rehabilitation assistance in the amount of $11,300 has been satisfied. The Department of Development is requesting the board approve and execute a satisfaction release of mortgage for Andrew L. Mahali II as the mortgage filed September 25th, 2007 under grant BC 050262 for rehabilitation assistance in the amount of $4,275 has been satisfied.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you,
Thank
Dave.
you. Okay, maintenance. No, I know it's hard. They start losing.
Morning.
How we all doing
Good,
today?
good.
Like hyperventilating or something?
All right, the first one is window cleaning for all county buildings. Remember, this is like JFS, all the different departments and everything. So going back to bringing everything in to one, so we only have one person going out, getting the contract and everything. So this is for jail, everybody, and this is a 2-year contract.
Okay. Any questions?
Make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lee?
Yes. And that's inside and out, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And they'll get up high up on
Oh,
the-
yeah, they
okay.
get the lift, ladders and
Okay.
everything.
Okay.
Alright, the next one is the pest control. Alright, what we did a couple years ago, we used to just call people in when we had problems, but going with a contract where they come in once a month, it's actually cheaper in the long run. We did a comparison of what we spent before and what we spent in the last 2 years, and it came out a whole lot cheaper. So, for the safety center, this is also the safety center, we have to do it down there,
Mm-hmm.
do the inspections and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, once again, this is for all the buildings, it takes, and they go around and do everything. So if we get somebody that calls in, they got ant problems, they come in for free and then take care of that problem because they treated it monthly.
Okay. So, Pat and pest control, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay,
Make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
yes.
The next one is the auction, right? This is for all county agencies, and we've also done some outside of the agency. They put leftovers onto the auction and sells it. There's a 7.5 administrative fee on this. This is paid by the person buying whatever they're buying. This is not paid for the county.
It's a buyer's
anything like
fee.
that. It's the buyer's fee.
Yeah.
And that, we collect that, all right, at the time when the buyer comes, we collect that, and then once a month, we send that down to GovDeals.
Oh, okay,
So-
that's your Gov Deals.
Yes.
Yeah, I've used them actually, that's pretty good.
So, nothing, we don't pay for anything, so, water department or engineers, we put that money back into their account. So, when it's sold.
Yeah, I think, I mean, a couple of years ago, I remember you guys did really well with that,
Yeah,
didn't you?
yes.
I mean, you sold,
Yeah.
getting rid of old furniture and
Yeah.
skid steer, whatever else
Right.
you can get rid of, right?
It's
That's
been
correct.
a good program for us over the years, and you just used to do it yourself, and it was a pain in the rear.
Right.
Everything used to be taken down to the barn and
Right.
once a year or once every 2 years, everything auctioned off.
Right.
We get so much more.
You get a national
with the-
audience, you know,
Correct.
you know,
It goes all
everybody's,
the way out,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, no, that's great.
So,
Excellent, okay, any questions or comments?
I make that motion.
All right.
Second?
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Aye. Thank you, Glenn.
Yep,
Thanks,
no,
Glenn.
thank you, y'all have a good day.
Yep.
All right, you got our resources, Steve. Morning.
So I believe I had 2 items on the agenda today. The first one is requesting board approve and authorize the president and board to execute the request for partial payment number 7 to Workman for the work at Auburn's Corner wastewater treatment plant in Troy Oaks in the amount of $736,220.17.
How are we doing down there?
Doing real well. We're going to test run it here in a couple of weeks.
Mhm.
We have about $1 million left on the contract, actually a little less.
Mm-hmm.
And then shortly, we'll be putting in the lift station down at Troy Oaks. And we can,
Completing it.
yeah,
Okay.
completing it.
Excellent.
You want a ribbon cutting ceremony?
Yeah, that was a long project for sure.
Yes, yes it was.
Yeah.
Not just the plant side, the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a 6-year project.
Yeah, before it, yeah,
And we got another one that's gonna be a
coming
long
up, right,
project.
right. Okay.
All right.
Any questions or comments? No? Okay, motion please?
I make the motion.
Second?
Commissioner DeWitt?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Yes.
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
And you vote to say
Oh,
Aye.
I'm sorry.
no.
Yeah.
And then, number 18, basically authorizing me to represent you at the public hearing on August 11th, as if I don't do that daily anyhow. The
Yeah,
public
yeah.
hearing in Parkman Township regarding the variance of a lot split on the parcel owned by the commissioners. And that is a parcel where it's less than 3 acres, it's a little over 2. It has our lift station for the Parkman plant. And it also has a house on it, and we've received an offer to buy the house, but we have to split the parcel.
No?
But it has to go through variance because of the size.
I see, okay.
And then we'll sell the house.
What's going on with the house right now?
It's empty, it's been vacant for years.
Okay, okay.
Bad shape.
Yeah, it's rehabable.
And
It can be rehabilitated, but it's in bad shape, and if we don't sell it, we'll never use it because we're not landlords.
And so how did that transaction come about? Did they just request to purchase it, or, I mean, how did?
We had a gentleman that wanted to rent it
Mhm.
for a friend of his, and we didn't want to rent it because we're not landlords.
Right.
And then we thought about, well, why do we have this house? It's just
Mhm.
falling apart anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
And contacted the township and spoke with John, his name out there, the inspector. And we eventually got it on the variance board to do it. First, they were against it because of their regs, but then they realized the house is right near the crossroads in Parkman. And
Mm.
can either sell it and have someone living there and looking fairly decent, or slowly fall apart over the
I guess my question is technically, it being, taxpayer-owned property still, county-owned property, I mean, was that thing marketed or offered to anyone else besides
No,
this
first we're gonna
buyer?
split it, and then we'll have to move to the next step.
So, does it have to go
It'll
through
still
the?
have to go through
Yeah,
the
it'll have to go
process
through
of
the whole
being marketed,
process.
put out for
Okay.
bid. and
Oh,
all that.
okay.
It's just- yeah.
Okay.
It's just with the knowledge that there actually is interest
I see.
in it, it made it sense to
Ah,
then
okay.
look at not wasting the time, but spending the time to
Okay.
go through and get it separated out.
Does it have to go
Just-
through CDC, or no?
No, not if it goes out to open bid.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an allowing it, so we have to do the plats.
gotcha, okay.
Would we ever need that land that's underneath the house?
No.
No, that was all part, when the Parkman project went in 16 years ago, that property was bought just to put the pump station on.
I gotta sign
And
it.
it just had to be.
No, it's just the-
At that time, it wasn't worth, the property owner didn't wanna keep the property, and then, so it was easier to buy the whole thing rather than go through this whole process of separating it out.
Sure.
and all that at that time.
All right.
We used to joke about the fact that we were gonna use it as our employee of the month award, we were gonna, give them, because it's right on the lake there.
A vacation.
Give them, the employee of the
Yeah.
month would get.
Weekend for two.
Would get a weekend
Yeah.
use of the house.
Right.
We never did that. It never-
Sounds nice. Yeah. No. Okay, thank you.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner DeWitt?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Warren?
Yes,
Thank you, Steve.
very good. Okay. That is the agenda for today.
That's what I have on there. I do have a couple of questions.
Okay,
And we had scheduled at the beginning of the year, obviously, before COVID happened, to have a session at the fair on the 3rd. I need to know whether you still want to move forward with holding that session, and continue to support the junior fair kids
Mhm.
that morning.
so will that be at the same time?
It's scheduled for 10 o'clock.
I mean, the same date opening and all that? Yeah.
As far as I'm
Or,
aware,
yeah.
that there's no changes to the date of the fair,
Mhm.
so.
I mean, that's always been a suggestion of the commissioners, just to open up to the fair and get that meeting. I mean, I would say, yeah. You know,
I'm okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
And Ralph already told me he was available.
Okay.
And then the next question I have for you, is, it's budget hearing season time.
Mhm.
So we are looking at, September 22nd after session, all day on Thursday, the 24th, and then the afternoon, after session on the 29th. So
Okay.
those are the 3 dates in the end of September that we were looking at
Okay.
for budget hearings. So I just need you to check your calendars and let me know.
I'm good
if
for all
there's-
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure, I'll make it happen.
And then I received an email from Lisa at Solid Waste yesterday. Jen is looking at doing a board meeting for you guys, the last 2 weeks of August, regarding the Go Green grants that the communities apply for.
Okay,
So they're looking at Tuesday the 18th or Wednesday the 19th at noon or after, or Tuesday the 25th at noon or after, Wednesday the 26th noon or after.
Tuesday, 18th of August?
Yes, those are all in August,
Okay.
the last 2 weeks of August, so,
you said the 18th of August? I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
yes.
Yeah, that's Tuesday.
Yes, so that's a normal session day,
Mhm.
and
So on
then,
here you have the 19th, it's Tuesday.
do I have that on the 19th?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It is the 18th.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So Tuesday the 18th or Wednesday the 19th, this is what the Trumbull County Commissioner's scheduling clerk had available for them.
Mhm.
So, or Tuesday the 25th, noon or after, or Wednesday the 26th. And obviously, she is available, you can do it by Zoom.
Okay. All right, I'm fine with any of those dates, doing it after session. Do you guys wanna do that or not?
So the 26th is Wednesday,
Yes, and it would be noon or after.
and the Tuesday, the 25th?
It is noon or after.
Okay, let me just look at this one, I'll find out for sure.
That's fine, I wanted to make sure that I brought it up so that you guys could let me know and I can get back to her.
Okay.
So, that's what she sent me yesterday, so that I would deal with you guys today and.
Good. And then also, I see, Ms. Kim Laurie's here from the juvenile probate court, probably, wanting to know where the, application is from, where is it at in process since we approved last week?
Yeah, I talked to Jim, yesterday, or
Mhm.
by email, we didn't really talk. He's dictated the application to his secretary, but his secretary's been out sick last week and yesterday.
Oh,
So as soon as he can get it typed up, it's not, he can get it done here.
okay. And then the process would be what? It would come here and then?
You would sign it, the board already
Yep.
approved for you to sign it. And then
Okay.
you would go back to him to be submitted to the court, to the county police court
Okay.
for their approval.
Well, then, you'll let me know as soon as it gets here, because
As
then
soon
I
as
can.
I have it, I will let
Yeah.
you know, yes.
Okay. Because this has been, probably close to a month now, I think, for us to get to this point, so hopefully we can, get through, I'm sure they wanna get going. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you guys do receive it from the prosecutor, could you send me a copy of it just so we can see what it says? We would appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay. And then also, I think we probably all received this letter. One was addressed to me, I don't know if the
That
other.
was the only one that was received.
Okay. From the Geauga County Fair Board, president and secretary, and it's somewhat concerning to me, what they're saying in this letter, and I think related to how the fair was handled and the communication that went back and forth between the fair board and our health commissioner, it looks like. So I think it's, with that being said, I guess my question would be to this board is, would we wanna, maybe send a letter on to the health board to ask them about the whole process of how that thing went down? Somewhat it's water under the bridge now that there is no fair, but, I think that being set aside, it's maybe the way this thing was handled with the health commissioner, and if this stuff is true, I would say it's concerning that we have you know, an unelected official running around Geauga County, you know, making claims like this on behalf of others, and and then running back to his board, reporting on and getting decisions and resolutions made. So, you know, I'd like to maybe set up a meeting with the Fair Board. I think we are supposed to maybe talk to, or I have a meeting today with, or one of us do today with the Fair Board members, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
After session about 10:30, I think we're
Yeah,
meeting with
and-
them to discuss what's gonna be, the junior fair.
The junior fair, yeah.
And the Fair Board's concerns about
Yeah.
only operating a junior fair versus operating a full fair.
Right, and from what I've heard, that there's been an investment, you know, close to $200,000 by the fair, you know, made with the assumption that some of these things were gonna be, and I guess maybe in the junior fair, they will be able to utilize some of that, I think, right? But
Yeah, we will utilize some of it, but
yeah,
there's a lot that was planned for the full public fair to.
right. I would say, you know, I think it might be worthwhile, you know, after we discuss this further with the representatives from the Fair Board, but to notify the Health Board as well, you know, and I'll just say, we've been completely out of the loop, you know, as elected officials, and to any of the happenings there. You know, I don't think we've had an update or any communication with our Health Board or our Health Commissioner in months, have we? I mean,
Not directly, no.
No.
I mean, we get the flyer or whatever they send out weekly or bi-weekly,
mhm.
but no direct report from the health board or the commissioner.
Right, right. I mean, I know there's, you know, I was under the assumption that, you know, there was a lot of cooperation and education and collaboration going on with different events that were trying to be planned throughout the community, and I think that's been the case, right? I'm hoping so, and not in a punitive way, but, you know, I've heard rumors that, you know, there's a move to go towards, you know, stronger enforcement and different things like that. So, you know, I think maybe it'd be worthwhile, our board having a discussion or at least a face-to-face with the health board, and maybe just go over a couple of these things, you know. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but,
I'm fine.
yeah.
Well, I'm sure there was steps missed, and, you know, whether it be the Fair Board or any other
Mhm.
group or organizations, that this miscommunication doesn't happen again.
Right,
You know.
right, right. Yeah, I think, you know, there was you know, I'm sure, you know, people were frustrated and upset that the fair didn't happen, and I completely understand that, and I also understand some of the reasons why, you know, I get it, you know, what's going on, but I just wanna make sure that, you know, we don't have anybody working against one another, you know, that this was done in good faith, some of these things, right, you know. So, you know, and Jerry, I don't know if you shared it with the other commissioners, but, you know, we did receive that email from our health commissioner, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't know, I don't have it with me, but, you know,
I also got a copy of it here.
I don't know if you saw, if the other two have seen it or heard it, but it's, you know, it somewhat calls, you know, leadership into question in the county, you know, calling the commissioner's leadership and,
It was sent to all three of you and me.
okay.
So you guys, we've been
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
That's a copy of it there.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to, in the light of transparency, which, you know, that's what was referenced in these letters, that, you know, if there's a problem with the way we're handling things, or if there's a problem with, that things they don't like about the way we're doing things, or, you know, maybe he should come here, the health board or a representative or a commissioner should come to our meeting and let us know that. That'd be fine. We're all, you know, we're all adults here. I'd be happy to hear what he has to say. Or we can do the same, you know.
Yeah, I know that, I mean, Tom came to some of the early meetings
Yeah.
that we had, and then never
Right.
came back, so
Right.
never expressed a desire to come back
Yeah,
either.
I mean, I know he's been a super busy guy, and rightly so. You know, I know he's been doing radio shows, and, you know, he's become somewhat of a very public figure out there, you know, on social media and making some statements like that. And you know, I guess it would be, you know, it'd be nice to be, you know, working with the actual elected officials in the county that you are serving, you know, so we're all aware and on the same page of what you're doing. Yeah. So, you know, I'd be happy to sit in or talk to the Fair Board here later today, because I'm curious as to what, you know, what they're claiming here in this letter as well. You know, and I'd be happy to share this with whoever wants to take a look at it. Okay? Yep, yes, I'm sorry, your name?
I'm Kathy Johnson.
Hi Kathy, how are you?
I'm good. I live in Chardon Township, and I was, just one quick comment on this. I was involved with planning in July 4th grade in Chester Township. And I will say that our group was in very positive communication with the health director all through that planning. And that suddenly on June 30th, we were having a parade on July 4th. On June 30th, there was received a threatening type of email from the health director that was totally surprising, considering there had been positive communications and cooperation going on. And that was directed at the leader of our group, Skip Claypool, and it was copied to Jim Plays, Sheriff Hildenbrand, and Ken Radke. So it was very surprising and upsetting, to tell you the truth. And it was decided by our group to go, instead of having any walkers, to be a vehicle-only parade, and we were able to have the parade. But to have that happen suddenly was disruptive. I would just like to say that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Yes, sir.
South Russell Village. Are we gonna have school in Geauga County this year?
You know, that's a good question.
When are we gonna find out?
That's a good question, you know, and that's a question that I have as well, you know, having kids, and I'm sure everybody does, and I would like to just maybe have a clear understanding. You know, I know just recently, in surrounding counties, there's been recommendations made by local health commissioners and their boards. Those aren't state recommendations. You know, the state recommendations are still saying that school can go ahead, or the local local districts can do what they see fit. Same thing with sports. You know, sports was a big one. I know Cuyahoga County just recently put out a recommendation, and I don't know where these recommendations originate. You know, are they made in a, you know, in a back room somewhere, or based on data?
Yeah, but it's
or
affecting all of
yeah.
us, and
Yeah.
we can't go on forever not
agree.
knowing what's going on in the county.
100% agree, and you know, I guess it would be somewhat important to, and it's similar to what the fair recommendation was. The recommendation from our local board was to not have the fair, or to have a junior fair,
Right.
you know, so, when those decisions are made, it'd be nice to have the actual elected officials in that county be a part of
Right.
at least be in the room to hear it, as
We
to
don't
why.
even know
Yeah.
how many people in Geauga County have the COVID-19 problem. We don't know how many people in Geauga County have died from COVID-19 and where. We get no reports whatsoever in the newspapers or any place.
Well, those numbers are, you know, shared through the, you know, CDC. I mean, through Ohio Health. I mean, you can get that information.
Yeah, but it should be published here.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
In the county, it should, the newspapers have it, or it should be an email from the commissioners or somebody, or from Mr. Quaid. But right now, we don't know what's going on in this country.
Right, right. Yeah, I would.
I'm sorry to be on a soapbox.
No,
but,
no, and somewhat
as an
we
older
all
person,
are.
I'm concerned
We
about
all are
things
on a
like this.
soapbox right now to some extent, because I think that's the thing, is everybody's waiting for a decision or somebody to take action, and it does seem as though, you know, all the way from a local level, all the way to the top, that there's a disconnect or something that, you know, because I do feel that the actual, local officials are not part of the equation. You know, there's a lot that's going on, you know, in the health board, I guess, these meetings, and the health director is making a lot of decisions. You know, last time I checked, you know, he was an appointed official by a board, you know, that works, is it accountable to the board and then accountable to the residents of the county.
There's a lot of those out there.
Yeah, so.
And one last item, I'm sorry I'm taking up so much time. Has anybody been in touch with the Board of Elections to see if we're gonna have in-person voting, or is it everything gonna be on the mail? We have to satisfy that now.
Right.
It's 90 days from here,
Right.
and what, are you gonna wait till the last day
Right.
and then close everything down?
Unfortunately for the Board of Elections, they're waiting on the Secretary of State to make those decisions.
Right.
So
Well, then we should be-
they don't get to make those decisions. in a
Jerry, we
vacuum
should be
for
told
Jackson
these
County.
things. It should be sent to the newspapers, and it should be put in the Thursday newspaper so we know what's going on. Because right now, the
No, I
people in
agree.
Geauga County are not, except for people like ourselves that come here, and I'm very happy with the way things turn out. But at the same time, I'm confused, and I think I represent South Russell Village and other people here, that we need to know what's going on.
I agree.
Well, I mean, unfortunately,
Will you send
if
messages
we're
down to
waiting on
Columbus?
if we're waiting on somebody, we don't have any control over.
Can you send them
those
an email to
decisions.
Columbus, to DeWine, and ask them what's going on?
Good luck.
At least you can send him a message, what's going on, and if he doesn't answer it, then we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, thank you very much.
No, thank you.
As far as the schools go, I have communication with the Berkshire School Board, and they have every plans to have school 5 days a week, as usual, because
Okay.
on, I think, the east side of the county, just guessing, the east side of the county feels that way. And because it'd be so disruptive if they had so many days for online and so many days for school, and then both mom and dad work, the babysitting and all that, it's just turn everything upside down. So I really believe that Berkshire is planning on it.
Good.
And that's
Until the
what-
governor's
They
re-
rolled out their plan last Friday at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
In conjunction with the health commissioner.
I think, I haven't looked at them all, but I think every school district in the county has released some form of in writing on what their plan is.
Right. I just,
But to understand that, I know that in many of them, it says, this can change tomorrow.
Right.
So.
I just wanna
no matter
have
what
a-
the state says.
I just want to have a clear understanding of, where these recommendations are coming from, like, for
Right.
example, Cuyahoga County's recommendation to not have fall sports, like, where's that, how did that originate, and who made that decision, and based on what data? Like, I'd like to just have it understand, instead of just some blanket recommendation, and then they go to the school board, and I think the school boards all mean well, but when they get a recommendation from a health district, Cuyahoga County Health, they're gonna take that seriously, but it's not what the state is saying, right?
Correct.
So I just wanna be clear that those are, outside the realm of what the state is recommending, those recommendations, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, Diane?
Yeah, couple of weeks back, I expressed some concern about the importance of having Tom Quaid come and address this board. My question is whether he was ever contacted in regard to that request, or would this be the first time such a request was made of him?
No, I do remember you asking that, and I actually contacted Tom myself, and with Jerry and I, we had a conference call with them, but prior to that, we had not talked to him probably since, I know Jerry's been in contact with him on different things, related to the county, probably every week, he probably, right? Or
Depending on what's going on.
Yeah, but as far as officially, no, but we had a discussion with him, just to kind of get up to speed as, for myself personally, really, but as far as having him come here and put on an official presentation, I don't think he was, I wouldn't say that he wouldn't do it, but I don't think he was just have the time to do it or something, I don't know.
I can re-talk to him and see if he's available.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
yeah.
sorry, I'm Jerry.
I'm sorry, I can re-talk to him and see if he's available to come.
Yeah, yeah.
for a-
I
for a
think,
session.
you know-
When we did talk to him, he wasn't, I don't wanna say, he wasn't necessarily enthusiastic about coming and doing it, but
Are you aware of Diane Grandel's communication to, to Governor DeWine, expressing her disappointment and absolute, just devastation that the Great Geauga Fair will not be
Yeah.
proceeding?
Yeah, I didn't see that, but I know that is probably the majority of the people in this county probably feel
I'm
that way.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah.
So then, will there be another attempt, or an attempt at least to have Tom Quaid come and address this
Yeah,
body?
We can certainly request that, and again, what I'm asking today is I'd like to request a meeting with
Clarification.
with the health board, not just Tom Quaid, but with the board, because I'd like to understand how this process works. When they're making resolutions based on information provided by who and what data, and then these recommendations come out, I just wanted to know, so I understand how our community's being impacted.
So at the special meeting that the board had on Friday, that Friday,
For the fair?
for the fair.
Yeah.
So this issue with Tom Quaid didn't come up then, is that correct?
No.
They never
Okay.
showed that day.
No.
Okay.
No, and I guess, like I said, I'd be happy to share this letter with whoever wants to see it, but, and you can maybe talk to the fair board as well, if you have any questions, but we're gonna try and, I'm not even sure if they're gonna try and do the junior fair or not. I really don't even know where we're at as far as that. I mean, I think they were,
I'm real sure they are.
yeah.
I'm real sure they are.
Yeah.
At least we had a good first responder program at the
Yeah.
fairgrounds on
Yeah.
Saturday. And I was glad I was there, and it was handled very well.
And-
Keep it up, and we need to do more of those things.
Thank you.
But, I guess my question isn't so much about if we have the fair or junior fair or not fair or on the fair, but it's the way these decisions or way the recommendations or resolutions are made based on how those decisions, I'd just like to know how that
The
decision was made.
procedure is.
Yeah, yeah, and based on what data, I guess, to, do that.
Okay. All right, well, you are aware that Governor DeWine has said that all junior fairs will proceed,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. And like I said, it's kind of a moot point, the whole, if we're gonna do the fair or not, but I think the bigger question was the interaction between the fair board and the health board, or the health commissioner, and then maybe some of the information that went back, or no information that didn't go back to the health board, and then a resolution that was presented at the 12th hour to cancel the fair, or to, do a junior fair. So, those are my questions, and it seems as though the health commissioner is reaching out to us with his concerns about the way we, our leadership in this county, how the way we handle ourselves and what side of history we're gonna be on. So it sounds like we should have a meeting to maybe talk about this stuff. Okay, okay. Okay, very good. And then, so next week we have planning commission at 7:30 a.m. We'll do it still in the big room, is that right, down there?
Planning commission is yes.
Okay, yep, and then we'll be back here like normal. There is a special ADP meeting later this afternoon. I think it's related to some of the COVID impacts and some of the CARES Act funding. And other than that, any other questions or comments?
Just to get back on COVID a little bit.
Yeah.
Just so the public knows that when COVID first hit Ohio and Northeast Ohio and Geauga County, behind the scenes, because in one of these emails we were challenged with our leadership skills, that we met on a conference call all the department heads, the commissioners, Jerry, Emergency Management Services, Roger Peterson, Tom Quaid.
Law enforcement.
County prosecutor, and we all rolled up our sleeves and worked together for at least a month. A conference call every day at 10 o'clock, and then it whittled down to 3 days a week, and then it went down to 2 days a week. So I was so impressed with all the departments voicing their concerns, hearing things from different parts of the county, that this was going on, or there was a party of 300 people, and different things like that. But we all worked together, and that really hasn't hit the public either, that everybody worked together. And just one note with the hospital, they were worried about overflow of beds. Roger Peterson and I worked together. I got the bond building that was gonna maintain about 45, 50 beds. And then we also went to Red Maple Inn in case the doctors and nurses that came in from other areas were overly tired, they needed someplace to stay overnight, and that, so we had all that secured. And there's so much that goes on, many more things like that, that maybe the public really doesn't know. So we're at the will of the governor, Tuesday and Thursday when he makes an announcement. And then we have to roll up our sleeves and try to make things happen, and with the Fair Board and everybody else. So that's what we do as leaders behind the scenes, so nobody else has to worry about it, so.
Well, Jim, people are worried about it, and there's been no transparency, and there's no information provided to any of us.
Yeah.
And elected officials are fine. We have no problem with the commissioners. But all these unelected officials, there's so many different boards here, and they are not doing the job that they're supposed to. Who's even on a committee? Who determines who's on the health committee?
Mm-hmm.
How many people are on the health committee that have picked Mr. Quaid to be the director? How many people?
The
Five?
The townships actually have an advisory council, and then the advisory council picks the board members, and then the board members just hired Tom Quaid, I think, less than a year
Does
and a half.
South Russell have any input
Yeah.
into the health committee?
Yeah, I think your mayor.
All the
your mayor-
municipalities have one
Yeah.
vote, like
Yeah.
Burton Village,
Well,
Middlefield
it doesn't
Village.
But it just goes to show it is very important.
It doesn't appear in South Russell minutes,
Yeah.
the council minutes.
It's,
It wouldn't, because it's a separate board.
But there is a representative from South Russell, I don't know who it is.
We don't know who it is,
yeah. But
and they
that's,
won't tell
that's
us.
just, I guess what that kinda gets back to what I was originally saying is, you know, the elected officials are really have not been maybe a part of the equation as much, and this isn't just, I don't think, related to Geauga County, I think this goes all the way. I was talking to state representatives and state in senators, and even, you know, Congress people, that the health boards and commissioners have been working a lot of times in a vacuum with very little input or at all influence from the elected officials, and that the people have, you know, trusted and put in place to make decisions or be part of decisions at least, or be aware of decisions, you know?
Yeah.
Even just be aware of it would be nice.
I'm
you know?
sorry, I'm so
Yeah.
outspoken
Yeah.
today about this, but the 94,000 people or approximately live in Geauga County, we're getting left out with no information at all. I mean, even South Russell, you
Yeah.
can't get any information from those guys.
Right. Well, we will, you know, I'm gonna do my best to try and get a better understanding of what is going on, and I will, you know, I think we can request that, face-to-face meeting, and then if we can even have our health commissioner come in and do an update to Geauga County and where we stand today, that would be great.
Or at least put out an email or a letter or something.
Yeah, well, he does put out a press release every week, I think, doesn't he?
It's not in the newspapers.
It's on the website.
He does it on.
Or is it on his website or something? Yeah, okay, yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, and, I mean, you know, there is a challenge, I think, sometimes to getting mass communication out, and, you know, you may even wanna go look at his Facebook page. You know, he has a lot of personal opinions on a lot of this on there too.
That's the reason
you
don't
know.
look at it.
Yeah, well, no, I'm just saying, he's putting out message
not
there.
talking about us
Yeah.
in Geauga County. He
right.
talks about himself only.
Right, right, but you know, he's been on NPR radio, and, you know, he's got his, you know, his take on this whole situation, and, you know, I guess maybe it's time to have a little follow-up meeting as to where we're at, yeah.
Yeah, this is not going away.
No. Okay, very good.
Thank
So,
you very
thank
much
you.
for putting up with me
Adjourn.
today.
Yeah, motion